friends have never been more important than they are today. Everywhere you turn, there seems to be reasons to give up or not even try at all. We want to be the light in these times and an inspiration for others to keep pushing forward. My journey of growth comes through humility, and I welcome all who are looking to grow with me. Thanks for tuning in to the Crew First Culture Podcast. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Once again, thank you so much for coming and spending some time with me today. I truly enjoy just getting on here and kind of getting some things off my chest, and hopefully, no matter what I have to say, there's at least one person out there that needs to hear it. And to tell you the truth, that's why. I mean, obviously that's why I do it, but that's why I'm here today. You know, honestly, I don't have a lot to give right now. This world is absolutely just sucking me dry, and it seems like when it's almost like blood in the water. You know, when you feel like something is getting at you, it's just like it's more and more and more and more, and man, it's hard. And so a lot of me doesn't want to do anything today. I just want to sit in my truck for, you know, the 45 minutes I have left before shift, and just be quiet and be to myself and think about things. But there is something I definitely have wanted to talk about, so I'm not just getting on here blabbing. But at the same time, it's kind of hard for me to do it. But I know there's at least one person out there that needs to hear it. I know there's even more that are going to benefit from that one person. So, you know, I am going to follow my own advice that I'm about to give, and just take a step and do it. So that's exactly what I'm here to talk about today, is take a step. However long I've been doing the podcast thing, a couple months, if I was to look in the future a few months before that and think to myself I would be doing a podcast, it just is something that I would have not imagined, because I couldn't have seen myself doing this. But there just different things, different circumstances, different pieces kept falling into place, and it's just led me to this point in time. And so that's kind of where I want to go, is what is out there that you need to take advantage of? What opportunity is there that you need to move forward on? What step is right in front of you that you need to take? And, you know, sometimes that's easy to see. And I would say that a lot of times, maybe much more of the time, it's not the easiest to see. It's not the quick choice that you can make right off the top of your head and keep moving. It's something that you've been struggling with for a while. It's something that has been a weight on you for a while. It's something that you have felt a pull or a push to do. And, you know, I've felt those times just a couple times in my life. You know, I've felt those feelings. And honestly, I love those times, because I know during those times that I feel a weight, or that I feel something pushing me in a direction, or I feel something pulling me towards a choice. I know that there's something coming. You know, there's something bigger than me that I need to be a part of. And it's such a good feeling to know that it's not me trying to get more followers. It's not me trying to see how many likes I can get. It's not me. It's not me. It's about the message that I've been given. It's about the help that I've been blessed enough to be able to give to others, and it's not me. I say I, but I'm just a tool being used, and it's no different than anybody else out there, and that's where I'm going. Is everybody listening to this has something that they can offer. And I'm sure there are a lot of people out there that are using that to help others. I'm sure there are people out there that have a message and that are spreading that message and doing good things with it, and just really using their gifts, what they've been blessed with to help others. But I know there are a lot of people out there that are ranging anywhere from just they don't even know what they have to give, all the way up to they know exactly what they have to give. They know exactly what their personal message is that needs to be shared. They know exactly the people that they can be helping, but they just can't take that step. And so just wanted to share a little bit about, kind of my short journey so far. And this is one of the episodes that isn't fire service specific. This is life specific. And it doesn't matter if you are involved in the fire service. It doesn't matter if you have any number of thousands of careers. It doesn't matter if you stay at home and take care of family. It doesn't matter. This is life, and you have something to give others. And so kind of with me, it was this whole process was bred out of just a kind of a spark that started arising in me, and wanting to do good, wanting to basically, and I know I've said it before, but when I was given a new firefighter on my crew, it just really hit me and made me realize that I have got to do better, because I am responsible for the way this person turns out. It's just like a kid, and I don't mean to compare the two as far as treating them like a kid. I mean, if you have kids, you know that you are responsible for what kind of an adult they are. You have got to instill in them values and work ethic and all these different things that set them up to be successful, happy, productive adults. And no, you aren't responsible for the choices they make, but you've got to give them those tools. You've got to put them on the best possible path that you can for success. And that's exactly where I realized I was when that happened. Is this person, I can allow them to just kind of fall through the cracks and not really do anything to help him. I can just trust that the skills that he learned in rookie school can carry him through the rest of his career, and that he knows what he's doing, or just watch us and you'll learn, or, all these things. I could do that, or I could have a personal, I could take accountability for his future. I can be personally responsible for the path that that he could take. I could take responsibility on giving him the best possible chance of having a successful career, of helping as many people as possible. I could do that, and so that really just started setting me on a path of growth, of challenges, just learning. It's amazing that one little thing, what it did. And so, I had all this inside, and it just started building up and building up and building up, and just wanting to do so much, and wanting to do good things, and wanting to share all of this that I have inside. And I had no outlet. Yes, I could train this new person, and I could do things to build my personal team, my little circle at our firehouse. But it just felt like I needed to do more, and I wasn't being allowed to do it. And so that drive and passion and need to learn and grow and do good things started turning into resentment and anger and all these negative feelings, and there was no reason for it, because it was all birthed from good things. And so I started realizing that if I didn't find a outlet to get these things out in a positive way outside of my personal department, then it was going to turn in to me feeding into this anger, feeding into this resentment. It's going to turn into me being somebody shooting out passive-aggressive emails that totally destroy the message that I have to share. And I wasn't going to allow that. I did not want that to happen. So, I started looking for other avenues. It bled into, I think first came Instagram, just kind of sharing some thoughts, find a picture. And I love photo editing. And so I'd find a cool picture, edit it a little bit, and put some of my thoughts on top of it. Kind of, that's kind of how Instagram is really based on, just pictures and very short thoughts. Anything bigger than that gets lost in Instagram. So that's kind of where it started. And then I felt like I had a lot more to give I had a lot more to get out than just short statements. So I started writing. And during that time, it was like I couldn't stop writing. And if I did stop writing, I started getting filled with this, anxiety that I couldn't focus on anything because I had all this stuff to get out. So it was very interesting, because it just kept coming out, and it's not like it was anything I was really thinking about. I'm not a good writer, I'm not a good reader, but it just came out. And so, from there, just different things here and there, and kind of getting myself involved with some other people's podcasts, some other people's classes, things like that. And it just kept feeding and kept feeding and kept feeding. And being on these podcasts of others, just guests and call-in shows, and, a couple little bitty things here and there, most of which I basically, I'm trying to think of the best way to say it. It wasn't really anything that I was asked to be a part of. I was just I kind of fell into a few things that, just call-in show type things where anybody could do it. So, but I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed that conversation. I enjoyed meeting people across the nation that, come to find out, they are either dealing with or have dealt with exactly the same thing that I was. And it was so interesting and so awesome to talk to these people that, they're months and even years further into their journey than I was. But it all started for them the exact same way. It all started through frustration. It all started through, this desire to want to help people, to want to, do the best that they could do. It all started from them having a message that they wanted to share with others. And that's exactly where I was. And so, some crazy reason, I just felt like I need to maybe try the podcasting thing, just see how it goes. And, here I am. And not that, it's anything impressive. I mean, it's still a very, I call it almost a small startup podcast, basically, or your grassroots podcast at this point. But, it was a step that I felt like I needed to take. And I didn't go into it thinking this is going to be huge. And I still don't think that this is going to be huge. I just felt like this is something I have to try. Because I feel like it's something, I feel like this is something I need to be doing. And so who knows where it's going to go, I don't know. And it's not up to me. I am just a piece of this whole big picture. Like I said earlier, I am just a tool being used, and I just hope that I can continue to be used in whatever way that I can. And so what do you have in front of you that, what step do you have in front of you that you need to take? What choice is there that you're trying to decide if you should take a leap and get out there, put yourself out there? What is out there that you can do good things with? And why are you not doing it? What's stopping you? Is it fear? Is it nervousness? Is it, what is it? And I get it all. I have a fear of this whole thing because I'm just not natural at talking. And so, I don't want to say something that's going to come out wrong. I don't want to sound boring and, monotone, but I've tried to kind of learn how to be more energetic, be a better talker as far as all this goes, so that it's easier to listen to, because I feel like I have something to give and I want to do the best I can to draw people in to hear that. And so, I'm trying to learn to do a better job with that in an attempt to reach more people. And so that's the question I have for you today. And I don't have the answer to that, because, there's some days where I don't even have the answer for myself. Today, like I said, I feel like it was a struggle to really take the step of, yes, put your headphones in, get this message out, because there's somebody out there that needs to hear it. Because part of me just wanted to just kind of be quiet and enjoy some, not really enjoy, but just be alone and kind of hopefully find a good starting point for the day. But at the same time, I knew that this is really what I needed to do. And so I want to challenge all of you out there, if there's something that you know you could be doing to help others, do it. Take that first step. Start a podcast. Start a blog or a vlog or whatever the words are nowadays. Start a YouTube channel of just your story, whatever it is. There's so many different things out there, so many different ways to help people. If it's something that you don't really even know what to do with right now, then just write it out. Write your thoughts out so that you don't forget. I keep kind of a running list of notes in my phone, because something will come to my mind and I've got to write it down, and it'll just be a piece of something, and not even a paragraph or an article, nothing, just a piece, sometimes even a few words, but I've got to write that down somewhere, because in 10 minutes it will completely be lost, and I will be sitting there thinking, oh my gosh, that was a really cool thought that I just had. What the heck was it? And it'll be gone. And so, it's so good to get these things out. If there is something bugging you, if there is something pulling at your heart, pushing you, pulling you, whatever, write it out. Get it on paper and start looking at it and figure out what's really going on. Is this a start of something that is really cool? Is it the edge of a message that you're creating for yourself, that you want to get out there, that you need to get out there? Is this something that you're being given as a way to help others? We all have it. We all have something to give. Nobody's is the same. Everything I say, I try to put my personal spin on, my posts or my message, just so I'm not saying exactly the same thing as others, but that's all it is. It's just my spin on all of these things that I'm soaking up. I'm not creating anything original. I'm just saying them different. Because, if I see a quote that means something to me, but I feel like there's a little bit better way to say it that speaks more to me, that's the way everybody is. There are a lot of huge names in leadership, and people sell millions and millions of books, and there's, they have thousands or tens of thousands or whatever thousands of followers on a podcast or a leadership program. Lots and lots of these people out there, and they all have such great messages, and they all have an amazing ability to come up with these just one-liners that make everybody the switches start flipping everywhere, because they just have a way of putting things into words and to inspire people. And so, there's so many of those out there, like I'm saying, but at the same time, those people don't reach every single person. There's always somebody out there that just, they hear things differently. Different things speak to them. And so, that's our job as if you want to call them the smaller fish or whatever, to try to put your own spin on things, put your own twist on things, say things in a way that speak to you, so that we may catch a few of these people that are struggling to find things that really reach deep inside them and really inspire them. There are people out there that they see things a lot like you do, and to get your message out there in a way that makes sense to you will also make sense to them. And I think one of the coolest things that I have really noticed is that the more you listen to podcasts and shows, and the more you get out there, you kind of start gravitating towards certain individuals that just, they seem like-minded. You may never meet these people or talk to these people, but you just get a sense that you are on the same page. And two of these people for me are Frank Viscuso and Ben Martin. And I've heard lots of things from both of these people, and I love everything they have to say. Everything they have to say feels like something I would say. It feels like something I believe in. It feels like something that I want for myself, and so when I see anything from these two people, I know that I've got to listen to it. I've got to see it, whatever, because it speaks to me in a way that even some of the other way more high profile leadership people don't do. And so that's a good thing about kind of getting out and reading, and listening to different people, and all this stuff, because doing that, it creates that drive in you. It creates those puzzle pieces of your message. They start falling into place, and you get an idea here and you get an idea there, and you start putting them together, and then you kind of add your own to it, and that's where your message comes from, and that's where this whole deal starts. This whole situation of putting what you can out to help others, doing what you can to help others, it all starts by just being inspired yourself. And so I just want to challenge everybody to really look inside themselves, figure out what they can give, what they can do, what that first step might be in order to get out and start trying to help others. There's so many people nowadays, especially with the world we live in right now, it is just so crazy, and there's so much negativity, and the world needs you now more than ever. It needs somebody, everybody that has something positive to say, to speak up and just take that step to do as much good as you can. And so pretty much leave you with that. I know that's a lot to think about. If you're somebody out there that knows you have something to give, and maybe even has an idea of what that is, maybe it's not that big of a deal. Maybe it's just physically doing it, physically taking that step. But I know there are a lot of people out there that they want to do good things, they just don't know how. And so, that comes from, like I said, learning, listening, reading, and just digging deep within yourself to find out what you can give, what you can do. And so spend some time, just try to figure out what that might be. And hopefully, piece by piece and person by person, we can slowly make a difference. So, as always, I want to thank you so much for coming, spending some time with me today. If you have any concerns, any questions, any ideas, thoughts, whatever you want to talk about, let me know. I'm more than happy to talk with anybody. So thank you, and look forward to next time. Until then, stay safe and take care of each other. Thank you.